Hello! Welcome to another episode of the Caped Informers. I'm Brady. I'm back with Christian. What's up, man?
What's going on, Brad?
Today we're joined by a very special guest here with the Caped Informers. Today we have the great Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Zayas.
Also known as Adam Strand. Adam, welcome. Thanks for coming in.
How's it going? Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Well, let's see. It's been a pretty long time since we've been doing this, huh?
Yeah, we haven't done one since April. It's already halfway through May, so it's been a few weeks. Got lazy.
Yeah, we did get lazy, but we're back. It's all right. And I just want to send a very special shout out to the boys back at UMass who pretty much put the team on the back here and just carried us through this month. Round of applause here.
Ryan, Dan, Carl, all you boys. Love you all.
Yeah, you guys really you stepped up to the plate when we needed you, and that was awesome. So, all right. We got a lot of stuff to get through today, a lot of things to catch up on. We're going to talk Spidey, we're going to talk Flash, we're going to talk the Bat Suit, we're going to talk
Channing Tatum.
Christian's going to
Zac
talk
Efron.
Christian's going to talk a little bit about Original Sin, and we got a lot of stuff. So let's just get right into it. Let's start first with Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out 2 weeks ago. We all saw it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it could have been a little bit more action in the movie a little bit, but I thought the characterization between Gwen and Peter was great. I thought the introduction to Harry Osborn was great. I actually thought Electro was a lot better than I thought he was going to be.
Than you expected it to be.
Overall, I loved it. I don't know. What'd you think?
I really enjoyed this film as a comic book fan. Mm-hmm. Now, as someone who watches a lot of movies, I can tell you it's a little overstuffed.
Right.
And that's what, when we did the big review, that's what kind of held it back a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I truly think that I always almost called him
Andrew Parker.
because that's how much of Peter Parker he is to me. I really feel like he is the perfect Peter Parker Spider-Man, that he encapsulates the character. That's what they did really well, bringing that to the screen. Mm-hmm. And yeah, some of the jokes may have come off as a little corny to some people, but that's the kind of thing that Spider-Man does. Mm-hmm. When he was the first opening 30 minutes when he fights the Rhino for the first time, just Alexei there in the vehicle, and then he does all those different things. That is what really matters about the character, like him having fun, him inspiring hope.
Right.
And that really meant a lot. And they absolutely nailed the Gwen scene. Mm-hmm. And Emma Stone is fantastic. I really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I did too.
I just don't think it's a perfect film by any means.
I also agree that it's not a perfect film, but I also agree. I love the characterization of Peter. Mm-hmm. I also, you said you liked Electro a lot more. I loved Electro.
Yeah, he was
I
good.
thought he was fantastic.
He was
I loved his theme with the whispering in the back. It really showed that this guy had such a it was kind of an over the top terrible life, but he tried to be positive, but the positivity backfired on him, and he just went insane. And nobody was really helping him; they were just using him for their own. I mean, Dan DeHaan, Green Goblin, was just using him for his own devices.
Right.
I need you.
Yeah, that was he was really good, and that was something else. His music was
incredible.
Awesome,
incredible.
So Pharrell Williams there.
Yeah, that's right.
One thing I didn't like was what was that doctor guy's name?
Dr. Kafka.
Oh my God, his accent was terrible.
I'll say that too. Paul Giamatti, great character actor. Mm-hmm. Do not fucking ever show up again in the Spider-Man film. Oh, little Spider-Man! Oh, look at little Spider-Man! Holy shit, never.
Wait, are you talking about his Rhino impression, or are you talking about the other guy?
No, I'm talking
Doctor.
I'm talking Doctor and Paul Giamatti.
Oh, okay.
The accents were so terrible. That was something that really stood out when you saw it. You're like, wow, this is bad.
Right.
But I'm not saying I think the movie's bad. I just think those two accents are bad.
And you know what? I'm going to bring up a point that you actually brought up to me after you saw the movie and I saw it. We talked a little bit about it. You said you did not like the Peter Parker's parents stuff.
No.
With his dad and everything.
No, I think it took time away from people that needed more time, like Green Goblin's arc with his super blood that he needed, or you could have devoted it to Gwen, or you could have devoted it to a number of things that could have used more time. But I know they had, like, to differentiate themselves from the original trilogy there, they had this whole the secret Peter Parker's parents, but like that was so underwhelming. And the whole landscape of the movie, like, when you finally find out, and Richard Parker's like, they're going to think I'm a monster. Like, I don't recall anyone saying one word about you ever. And even in this movie, no one is ever like, Richard Parker was a piece of shit.
I don't think anyone's ever said his name other than Peter or Dr. Connors.
Or Aunt May.
Or his Aunt
like,
May.
Nobody has mentioned him, and, like, it doesn't matter. And, like, also, I need to get... When I get my new laptop, I gotta get one of the ones that he has on that fucking plane, because somehow that guy flies out of the fucking plane, but the laptop is perfectly intact. Why do we need to see, Braid, everyone's dad fight somebody now in a comic book movie? Jor-El, we have to spend 25 minutes on Krypton and see him fight General Zod. Peter Parker's dad has to fight off an assassin for 10 minutes. And these guys are all scientists. Why are they fighting people?
Does this mean we're going to have to see Bruce Wayne's father fight before he fight
Joe in the face?
No, it's just I agree with you. It's just it was a waste of. It was like filler time almost. It's like they used
and they didn't need filler time. Right? That's what I'm saying.
No, I was just going to say they didn't need it because so many things needed to be maybe overdone. All right, so
Brad, let me stop you there on a second, right? There's a bunch of things that happen in the film that they could have spent time doing. Like, Peter is a quick moment when they show him emailing J. Jonah Jameson. Or they show that he's actually putting in photos at the Daily Bugle. Right. That whole thing is skipped over because we got to do this whole thing with the subway with his dad.
Yeah.
Or, like, there's the part where he, you see the photos in the Daily Bugle. Or, like, God damn it, there's more things. The whole college thing. They're just like, he's in college.
No, you know, it's to just add to that, it's just like, I remember watching the animated series and, like, reading comics, and it's just, like, you never hear about his parents, ever. Like, when I saw Amazing Spider-Man 1, I was just like, alright, this is, like, weird. Like, why is there, like, a storyline with his parents? Like, it's not really needed. Like, nobody really cares about, like, Peter Parker's parents because they're just, they've never been as much involved in the story as they are with this storyline. And, you know, it's whatever. It's over and done with now. So now they're... In the third one, they can kind of move on from it, but I understand the presence of it in both movies, and I don't know. It just seemed a little pointless. If you're gonna do it in the first one, that's fine, but don't do it in, like, all of them.
You know what? It's like this to Brady. The parents of a superhero are most important to the superhero, and the least important thing to the reader. I do not give a fuck about Peter Parker's parents. I know he does. But I sure as hell don't. Bruce Wayne, the only thing I like about his parents is that they died and created Batman. That was the best thing they ever did.
Well, and Flashpoint.
Oh, I mean, that's
cool.
That's a what-if possibility.
Yeah. So now that Spider-Man 2 was done out of the way, this leaves room for Spider-Man 3, which Mark Webb's expressed his interest in Kraven. And I wrote the article saying that I loved it because I love Kraven. I think he's awesome. I think he should have been in earlier movies. I think he should have been maybe in the second one, maybe not even Rhino. Well,
I would have much preferred that.
Right? I mean, he's there. He's in the universe.
Yeah.
He's got to come in sometime. So, Mark Webb, if you're listening, the Informers want Kraven in this third movie.
I actually got to disagree there, pal. I think I wrote an article, a big long editorial about who Mark Webb should do for the third movie, and the reason I said not Kraven is because he doesn't really segue into anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I said it would make more sense to have either Venom or Doc Ock. Because you know Doc Ock is either the leader or number 2 to Harry Osborn in the Sinister Six, which Harry's creating.
Right.
And you know that Venom's getting his own spin-off at some point. And the idea of a Venom movie in which he is created in the movie and then he's the hero in the movie is the most unappealing thing I've ever seen.
Right.
Him being the hero in a movie after he's already been a villain to Peter. Because Eddie Brock's Venom isn't like your typical villain, you know what I mean? He has a vendetta against Peter, and he's only evil to Peter Parker, you know? because Peter kind of destroyed his life in the same way that he was excelling and Eddie was falling apart.
Right.
But like, if like Eddie just like becomes Venom in this one film and then beats Carnage, it kind of defeats the purpose of like the character's growth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I just don't want to see just the spin-off film. So that's why I thought Venom would be the natural choice to be the third Venom. I mean, the third villain. What do you think, Adam?
I totally agree. I think if they set... Because just like you were talking about the animated series earlier, Brady,
right.
When they set up that Venom Spider-Man storyline, when Spider-Man had the original black suit, even if you don't want to do that, like, you don't even have to give Spider-Man the black suit.
Mm-hmm.
You could just have it go right to Eddie Brock.
Mm-hmm.
But when they had to team up to fight Carnage after they'd already been, like, basically mortal enemies, that was some of the coolest, most dynamic things in that show. So having that on the live screen with Andrew Garfield, who we've already seen play the perfect Peter Parker, it could be incredible if they let that character grow and develop into what... Oh, it'd be sweet. That was like some of my favorite stuff.
Venom is...
that was cool. Yeah, Venom is... He's one of my favorites. I've loved him ever since I was a kid. I love him now, and I don't know, the old Spider-Man 3 kind of jacked him up a little bit, but...
Yeah. I kind of hope they do the black suit, because I don't know if that's true in the comics and the continuity when they first created him, but when... In the show, I remember them saying that Spider-Man's spider sense doesn't go off to Venom because he was connected to his suit, which is so cool.
That would be a cool...
That's like such a cool aspect.
Like, see, I know for a fact that if you saw some of the extended shots, you know that shot of the hooded man? I think his name's Fears in Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, he walks past the vulture wings and Doc Ock's arms.
Yeah.
There is a taken-out shot of the symbiote. Like, the alien symbiote. I don't know if it's an alien symbiote, but the created symbiote. They're in the, like, kind of like a cage kind of thing, like, bouncing around.
It's not in the movie?
No, it's not in the movie, but it was taking out. And you can look it up online. We'll do it afterwards. But, like, if you see that, like, you can take it one of two ways. One is you're thinking, okay, so it's in the universe, Oscorp created it, because the only thing that is evil in this universe is Oscorp, apparently. Or that they took it out. Or that they took it out because they wanted to be an alien source.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm hoping for.
Well, you raised a very good point. To be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking about that because I was, because they already have the spin-offs and stuff, but you raised a very good point.
If you don't set them up.
Right. But they should maybe they should bring them in.
And don't get me wrong, I absolutely fucking love Kraven. I said I would love to have him because they have that planned fourth movie. Mm-hmm. You introduce him in... Sinister Six, and then you have a Kraven's Last Hunt type story in the fourth one.
Yeah, that's
where it's Kraven's last go, man.
And he's, what is he? He's human, pretty much.
Yeah, and he buries Spider-Man alive or something. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all the Spidey stuff I've got.
Yeah, so we gave it 7.5 on the
7.5, but like I was leaning towards an 8. Some of the other guys were on 7.
I was on 8 too.
I was on 8.
And like we loved it. I loved that film, the second one. It hit.
Yeah, I think people need to understand. I think a lot of people aren't going because it's getting killed in the critics.
Oh yeah,
but.
Just like Man of Steel was.
Just go see it. It's
very,
worth it.
If you like Peter Parker, and you enjoy his story, you'll enjoy the film. Mm-hmm. Like, you gotta look past, like, everyone, there's a lot of people criticizing the Godzilla movie that came out yesterday, and they're just like, they're like, well, the acting was wooden. You don't go for a fucking Godzilla movie to see the acting. You go to see Godzilla. Right. It's just like with this, like sometimes, they're setting up a lot of different films here. They're trying to set up Sinister Six. They're trying to set up fucking Venom potentially for the future. They're trying to set up a future for Peter Parker. They're trying to get rid of Gwen, and they have to pay off the parents' bullshit. He's spinning a lot of different plates all at once. He's got to set up Harry for the future, and because of that, it hurts the movie as a whole. But it's enjoyable to watch. All right, we don't need everything to be a masterpiece. You can call The Dark Knight Rises a masterpiece of a film. It doesn't mean I fucking liked it.
Right. Jeez, got a little explosive there. All right, so go see it. It's worth it. But we're just gonna move on here. We got a lot to get through today, so let's just go ahead and talk about The Flash now. So we're gonna switch sides from Marvel to DC here.
We got three
DC trailers right to ramble off here. So if you watch the Arrow finale, we're not gonna talk about it today because we got other stuff.
No, they actually showed a full 5-minute one, dude.
No, I know. I'm getting to it. We checked the website if you guys want to read anything about Arrow. We'll talk about it eventually. It's just we got other stuff to get through. Flash did reveal Arrow revealed the full length preview. Was it during Arrow they did it, or was it afterwards?
They did one during Arrow that was a minute long, and it was with Grant Gustin and Steve Amell.
Which is awesome. That one was really cool.
I'm not going to lie, I was underwhelmed. I was very underwhelmed by that. I was like, all right, whatever. Because I thought we were going to get a trailer. Mm-hmm. But then I saw the 5-minute trailer, and I was whelmed as hell. That was amazing.
Whelmed?
I was very whelmed.
Just feeling the ass there.
Feeling it good, man. I really did. The 5-minute trailer is excellent. You get shots of metahumans. You get to see some great CGI with the Flash. You get to introduce to a bunch of new characters. Adam, what did you think of this?
I liked it. I was wondering, do you guys know who that guy, the doctor in the wheelchair is? Is that like a... Is that a newly created thing?
He was the one who made that the machine that blew up. That gave
the particle accelerator.
The particle accelerator.
Oh, okay. Because I wasn't sure. Yeah. I'd seen that guy in other things, but I didn't recognize his character.
Tom Cavanaugh.
Yeah, and so
he's JD's older brother on Scrubs.
Yeah, and they said that Daniel Panabaker is supposed to be Killer Frost.
Yeah, and they have Vibe on there too.
Yeah, I saw Vibe. And I thought that was weird.
Well, they're both.
Are you getting a bad vibe?
Is Killer Frost? Is she going to be? She's a villain. So I'm excited to see how they're going to make Killer Frost.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I really like Killer Frost, and even though she's not highly publicized, I played as her in the Injustice game, and she's very good.
She is very good.
Dude, she's got that ice sword. That thing's badass. And but I'm excited to see where they take that Killer Frost. I'm also excited to see how they do the thing with his brother with the weather wizard. I'm really excited to see how they do that too.
Weather was he was confirmed, wasn't he?
Yeah, they showed him in the trailer. It was awesome.
Yep.
I'm excited to see how they make that dynamic because that'll be really cool.
I just can't wait to see the Rogues and my main man Captain Cold. I love Captain Cold. I love Baron Master. Heatwave, Trickster, all my boys. Yeah. I love the Flash Rogues.
I wanted to make a quick comment on the suit because I think it's awesome. A lot of people are giving it a lot of criticism.
I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, it's natural that it's going to improve over time. It's his first suit.
Right.
I'm fine with it.
I think it's great.
I like it. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I like that it's a darker shade of red.
That was the only thing that I didn't like.
Oh, I kind of like that. I like that it was a darker shade of red.
I didn't like that it was too dark. I thought it should be like
a lighter
I can't see it, but this light red.
Like if you could only see the color of this paper, this is what I want.
Like a fire truck red,
like blood red.
I kind of like the darker red. It kind of adds a little bit more of a realistic tone to it, like how Arrow's costume is more of a darker green, rather than a lighter green like it is in the comics.
Well, I'm not. Besides the costume, I really thought the CGI for the running looked great.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for that show in general. You want to talk about the show that none of us are excited for, Gotham? That trailer?
Oh. Where do I start with all the badness? All right, look, I'm openly going to admit that when this show first everything started coming out, I was kind of like I was pretty excited for it. I was like, yeah, like this show's
initially it sounded like it'd be
great.
Fun, yeah.
Like I'm on board. Like Gotham, Fox, you got it. Like, and then shit started coming out even more, and it's just like, enough. Like, I'm just gonna start here. The whole Fish Mooney character, is horrible. It's horrible. Like
when they could have used
anybody, but they decided to make somebody
gangsters, and we have Fish Mooney.
And it's not even that. It's like, okay, Jada Pinkett Smith, she's awesome, she's good, but like. She doesn't even look like a mobster. She looks like a high-end stripper
with fucking red hair.
With red hair, right? And like if she showed up like in like a suit with like a Tommy gun and fucking the classic gangster look, I'd be like, all right, I get it.
A suit and Tommy gun.
I get
this is the 21st century gangster.
Well,
it's a Tommy gun, see?
Listen here, Penguin. You better go out there and fetch me my money.
Fast talking 20s pants. No, but it's just like that's my
first. Some mom jeans.
I can't stand the guy they cast for the Penguin.
Oh my god.
He's that like thin dude. Like
go back to shit university. Pal.
ADD.
He looks weird. I don't know. He freaks me out too.
Robin Lord Taylor.
I feel like I've seen him in something else and he was good. But like I feel like he was. I don't remember if he was good in it or not.
He played He played the kid who was on like ADD. His name was.
Wait, did he have blonde hair at that time?
Yeah.
I remember that.
He looked like an albino.
Yeah.
All right, the problem I have with it is in the trailer they just like before Riddler, before Catwoman, before everything, and like it seems like in this all they have shot is the pilot episode.
Catwoman.
Poison Ivy. All they have shot, all you saw was pilot episode stuff.
Yeah.
Which means that in the first episode, Bullock is going. Dan made this great point to me that Bullock is going to be taking everyone around and going around. This is fucking Pamela Isley. This is fucking this.
Is her name Pamela Isley?
I don't know. They'll probably call her Poison something because they suck.
I thought it was something.
It's Pamela Isley. Dude.
It's Pamela. I mean, I remember the animated series was Pamela Isley.
No, I know that, but like I didn't know if Fox
was going to change
the name.
Yeah,
like they and then they're like, hey, here's Edward Nygma. He's a lab tech who's a little cryptic, and just like shit like that. He's not too sure about himself. I think I got angry on another podcast when they said that. They're like, he's not too sure of himself. I'm like, one thing that the Riddler is sure as his fucking self. Yeah. His ego is huge. That's his thing.
Yeah.
And just this whole idea of seeing every villain before Batman exists, and now confirming that the Joker will be on the show at some point.
Hold on.
It just drives me to think Batman's villains only exist because Batman is there, right? They weren't all dressing up and having these different gigs and gags before that.
I was just gonna say that the whole thing that they confirmed the Joker just makes my blood boil. Like reading that article and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna use things from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns and The Killing Joke," and we'd be like, "Okay, there's certain aspects from those two books that you need in this show. Guess what it is? It's Batman, and he's not in this show. So why would the Joker be there? I don't know."
It grinds my gears as well.
It's horrible.
I think what bothers me the most is knowing that they're casting all these people. They're casting all these kids. It's hard enough to get good performances out of kids. Mm-hmm. Casting Pamela Isley's a kid, Catwoman's a kid, Bruce is a kid. There's so many children in this show. What are they planning? Are they planning a show that'll span like 15 years?
It's like the real life Kids Next Door.
Yeah, maybe by the 15th season, fucking Ben McKenzie will actually have a mustache and some glasses.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Come on, man, put the glasses on, grow a mustache out, will you?
Something, pal. Look like Gordon. And the whole thing with Bruce Wayne looking like he's gonna kill himself off the roof of his house.
Oh yeah, that was.
And like Gordon is gonna be like his new sensei. You know, Bruce, right and wrong is this, and left is right, and you know,
and the opposite down is up.
Look at all this shit. Hey, you know what? You should become a crime fighter. I'm Lieutenant Gordon. I know all this stuff from Chicago.
Yeah, it's just a shit sandwich, is what it
really is. I don't even want to watch it, but I know I'm gonna because I say I'm not gonna watch it, but I am.
Yeah, I'll watch the pilot, and you know that'll come out.
We'll have
decisions out there soon enough. But then, what did you want to say? One more thing?
Oh no. No.
Okay. So just moving on to the third trailer that we recently saw is the Constantine trailer, which actually looks awesome.
Yeah, on NBC.
So
what's funny is all three of these shows are on 3 different networks, and we don't know if they're all connected or if they're connected to the movie universe. They're just all different.
Well, just quickly to touch on that, Stephen Amell has expressed a lot of interest to play Green Arrow in the movies.
Well, if you were Green Arrow on TV, wouldn't you say that shit too, dude?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm just saying, like I don't know. I hope he gets to because he's fun and it would be an awesome thing.
It's just a side note.
Yeah.
But Constantine, don't really know that much about him, but the show looks awesome. What do you think, Adam?
I'm pretty excited. I didn't really delve too far into it. I know I read the ones for what was it? What was the Trinity War? I read the Justice League Dark ones for Trinity War, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. I like Constantine's character. I like his design, and like I've always been more into the magic part of it, like how like the spirits are doing stuff. Like Swamp Thing could be brought into, which would be really cool.
Swamp Thing's my
boy. Even Animal Man. Animal Man seems really stupid, but he's awesome. So I think they could bring in so many different aspects of the DC universe into this show that would be pretty sweet.
I really like. I saw the trailer and I was really just intrigued, like. Because, like you said, the spirit stuff and everything, that I like all that stuff, the ghosts, paranormal things, and it looks really cool. And, I don't know, it just looks like a fun show to watch.
I think it looked good. I like the character. He was introduced in Swamp Thing. Mm-hmm. But the thing I'm nervous about is that I found out it's airing on Fridays. And Fridays is where shows go to die.
Because nobody watches shows on Fridays.
No, most people. We probably watch shows on Fridays, but people who have lives, they do things
throughout the productive society.
Yeah. So, all right. So those are the 3 kind of new shows to look forward to. Maybe 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch. Listen, these are just 3 guys' opinions on Gotham. You think it looks good? Watch it. Go ahead. Like,
it's not out yet. We don't know. So that's
we could be totally wrong. But
we got 3 minutes of footage, and we just dissected it like.
But, go ahead. Feel free to choose and think what you guys want. The trailers are up. The images are up. You can read articles and anything like that. But, so there you go. Just look forward to those in the fall. Now let's move on to what we all want to talk about here.
The most important thing that's ever happened.
Our boy, Mr. Bat. I call him Batfleck. Wow.
Batfleck is fine.
Our boy, Mr. Ben Affleck, was pictured in a recent thing. We're just going to go ahead and clap here.
It happened.
The Batsuit has been revealed, and it is phenomenal.
It's glorious.
It's anything and everything you could have asked for in this suit. Adam, you look like you want to say
the best part of the reveal was that me and Christian had seen the first tweet, and like the next day we were sitting in our house, and I'm like, Christian, it's been 23 hours since they tweeted out the picture. Are they going to do it exactly a day afterwards? And then we were watching something, and it kind of faded from our minds for a couple minutes. And then I just picked up my phone, I went on Twitter, and I was like, ah! I freaked out, and I threw it in his face, and we were like, ah! It was great. I loved it. It was incredible, and I'm excited.
I thought what Zach did well was he showed us the back of the Batmobile.
Yeah.
We saw the 2 wheels of the Batmobile one day, and you're all. I'm thinking personally, I'm like, there's no way he's going to show us anything else besides the Batmobile. I would have taken the Batmobile. Yeah. I would have taken a frigging shot of Alfred, all right, with just being like Jeremy Irons, just chilling.
Right.
It's definitely looked better than that one, the creepy Sean Peachwee one. From Gotham, but I'm jonesing for something, and then to see Ben standing next to that new kind of a mixture of the old and the new in the Batmobile. It's almost like a Tumbler like Burton mobile, and I'm cool with that. You know, it looks more like the Batmobile than the Tumbler does, but it looks more futuristic than the older ones do.
Right.
And just to see Ben standing there with a Dark Knight Returns kind of Batman logo. Mm-hmm. Huge, is friggin' massive.
He is massive
with short ears and just. I know he took it in black and white, but we've only guessed what the color scheme is. But it meant a lot to me. It was a big moment in my life.
I think it meant a lot to a lot of people. I mean, all right, honestly, this is what happened. You told your story of how you found it. I went on Twitter and I looked at it. I'm like this fucking spoof. Like, what is this? Come on. And then you call me. You're like, "Did you see the Batsuit?" And I was like, "Oh, you mean that was real?" I didn't think it was real. I was like, "It's too good to be real." And they nailed it. And
yeah,
just get your pumped. It gets you pumped.
It's got that Dark Knight Returns kind of vibe to it. It also has some Jim Lee inspiration there. It's just like some of the greatest Batman designs thrown into one. Now, some people are complaining that his ears look like cat ears or that the symbol's too big. I really hope that they give the explanation they give in The Dark Knight Returns to why the symbol is there. So it's like people don't shoot at my head. They shoot at the
symbol.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I never actually even really knew that.
Yeah.
That's pretty
But that's why it's so big.
That's cool though.
And prominent. But I really loved that suit. I think it's so cool. People are complaining that it's not as militaristic as Bale's was. Bale's suit is a different thing. They're trying to be more realistic. I think they're trying to go with this guy is so well trained. He's going to have Kevlar on or something, I think. I don't know what could this.
It looked like woven Kevlar.
Yeah,
like I mean, it could have been anything.
I'm thinking Ben is going to be like the kind of Batman that's like in the shadows. You know what I mean? The guy who like is so well trained as a ninja and as the whole 9 yards that he doesn't need as much covering as Christian Bale's just fisticuffs Batman does. Man, you want to fight? See?
Right. The thing that really kind of stood out to me, what we just really talked about, was that you look back at Christian Bale. Nothing. I'm not taking anything away from him. I thought he was great, but he was like scrawny. And you look at Ben, he's massive, dude.
If you look at the first Batman Begins, and you see some of those fight scenes with his shirt off, Bale wasn't scrawny.
Well, not there he wasn't, but when he put the suit on, it's just
it didn't accentuate the muscles. And even if they're putting padding on Ben, even if he takes that off, he still looks huge.
Yeah.
But, like, I understand what you're saying, yeah.
I think it's going to be a really good parallel. For the movie, it's going to be a great parallel between the guy who has like the cowl, the darkness, and like compared to Superman, who has no mask on, just out in the open. Really, he's finally out in the open from his dad telling him not to. Right. So now that he's out in the open and he meets this other guy who's so the opposite of him,
secretive,
closed up, secretive, in the shadows.
You know what we haven't really talked about is like, what are we gonna expect for this? Like the interaction between the two. You know, it's just like. I
didn't even think of putting the suit next to Henry's. That's how excited. All of a sudden,
okay.
I just keep skipping this Batman vs Superman movie in my mind and dreaming of dreaming of a Ben Affleck directed Court of Owls flick. And
all right, just fast forward to the day that first movie poster comes out with them two just standing next to each other. Is that just not going to be the most? Is it bad?
I really hope it's the two profile ones where it's like they're looking into each other's like eyes. But
no, that would be sweet.
But I want, because Ben's taller, I hope they don't change the heights at all, so Ben's looking down at him slightly. Just because I would love that so much.
Hey, lest we forget that Wonder Woman is in this flick as well.
She is.
And Cyborg.
Is it announced how much Wonder Woman is in the movie?
No, they're never going to tell us how much she's in until we see it.
Because I know, like, 2 days before Amazing Spider-Man came out, they're like, Rhino's only in it for 4 minutes.
Well, that's what they'll
4
probably
minutes.
do. I mean,
I don't know, man.
But she could have a very dominant role.
I don't know if she'll have a dominant role, but I feel like she could have a. Like I know you didn't mean like she's going to be the
dominant
lead.
role. I meant like
she's going to be a dominatrix,
like a secondary. I don't know, like a secondary character.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. No, that makes sense.
Like, not the two main, but she'll be there.
Yeah, she'll be there.
She'll be hanging out with the boys.
See, the other thing I liked about Ben's Batman is he's so physically imposing. Like, holy shit.
Like, that
is scary. Like when you look at Christian Bale, like, he's not as scary.
Yeah, when that's a great point. And when they did the animated movies for Dark Knight Returns, that scene where what's the Robin's name? Maggie?
Carrie Kelly.
Carrie Kelly. When her and her friend are in that like weird like underplace, and like the two slice and dice guys, the two mutants, and they're like slice and dice, and then the lights go out, and you just see Batman standing there, and he looks massive. Yeah, he looks gigantic, and you're like, all right, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Ben is 6'3", he's jacked as hell. He just like his presence is scary. Like. What they always try to have, Batman is intimidating. On Justice League, they'd always have the thing where Superman would pick up a guy and be like, "Hey, bitch, tell me where." Of course, he wouldn't say that, but tell me where the money is, or tell me where something is. And the guy would be like, "I'm not killing you, Superman." And then Batman's like, "Give him to me," and he'd bring him over, and he'd say something. All right, Jesus Christ, I'll tell you. And like. They'd be like, what the hell did he say to him? And Clark's like, you don't want to know.
Oh my God.
But just like, he's just the most intimidating man on the planet. I remember there's a Grant Morrison comic where he calls Batman the most dangerous man on the planet. And he really is. And that's what he looks like in that picture.
He does.
And, maybe his head's down. Maybe he's a little gloom. Nightwing left.
Nightwing's gone.
All the New York Batman fans are just pissed off that this is a Boston guy. We love Ben. We don't care.
All right. I love it. It's great stuff. Thank you, Zach. You gave us a good look at Batman. Now, please, my friend, please.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Use them right, okay?
Give us a little more. Okay, so we're just gonna move on here. It's a little
X-Men.
Little X-Men. Channing Tatum, Gambit. This is your thing, Christian.
Yeah.
Your story here.
So a few weeks back, we talked all about spinoffs.
Right.
Me and Ryan, Carl came on here and basically shouted on every spinoff that's ever existed. And it's pretty funny. If you want to listen to it, I think it's episode 11. But we were talking about potential X-Men spinoffs at that time. And producer Lauren, I think her name is Schuler, Donna Schuler, and she had said that she wants some X-Men spinoffs, character spinoffs. And one of the names...
Didn't you do a poll?
Yeah, and one of the names she mentioned was Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one she mentioned was Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique.
And
we did a poll, and the two that came up on top were Mystique and Gambit. And then a few days later, Channing Tatum went public and said, "Yo, man, I love Gambit as a character. He's a Southern character. I'm a Southern guy. I grew up knowing this guy, and I'd love to play him." Now, usually when an actor shows interest in a role, it never happens. Right. Like, I remember Jensen Ackles was interested in getting cast as Batman. I remember all kinds of people are always interested in roles. Like, Michael C. Hall's interested in Daredevil. I bet you $50 he won't. It's just like the way it always goes. And, like, he said it, he had interest in it, and the next thing you know, that producer, Lauren Schuler, Donner, Vixen, Rickson, Cupid, Rudolph, she comes out and confirms that Channing Tatum is Gambit. And, like, it didn't even seem like they were casting Gambit. They're just like, yo, what? Channing Tatum, you're Gambit. It's a recognizable face. I'm not a huge fan of him acting dramatically, but he has been good in some comedies like 21 Jump Street
22 Jump Street.
And 22 Jump Street.
22
looks enjoyable.
Dump Street.
But like what he said,
he was great in Magic Mike.
What he said, he's struggling learning his accent. And I'm like, so I hope he learns that. You know, that Southern bio accent.
He's a Southern kid.
But no, he wants to do a more bio. You know.
Oh, okay.
Plus, he probably lost his accent since he started acting because, like, they make you talk in certain dialects.
Get a British guy in the play Gambit. They can do every accent on the band.
The other thing that was big is that after they announced that, they're like, okay, so when is Channing Tatum going to be in the X-Men franchise? And now it's suspected that he's going to be in X-Men Apocalypse, which is going to be after X-Men Days of Future Past. But they also confirmed he is indeed going to get his own spin-off as Gambit.
That's awesome.
Gambit is getting his own spin-off. Channing Tatum's getting his own thing.
So let's revisit a point that you made. Do you think that Mystique will get her own spin-off eventually? She's a likable enough character, I think.
She is a likable enough character, but I feel like people on the internet are just angry. And it's all because, I don't know where this backlash against Jennifer Lawrence is really starting, but there's a lot of people out there who are hating her because she's she's successful right now.
Right.
Like when she was first cast as Mystique, she was a nobody. She basically only thing she had to her name really was Winter's Bone and the Bill Engvall show.
Winter's Boner.
and like so stuff like that. And like if Marvel had made the same move, they would have been like, what a savvy cast by Marvel. But now they're putting her at the front of Days of Future Past with Hugh Jackman. They're like, they're just trying to make money up. No shit, dumbass. You get fucking the it actress. You casted her. You didn't even know she was going to be here. You got her for 3 movies. You're going to shove her in the front of the fucking thing. Jesus Christ. You don't think Marvel would be doing the same thing? You don't think if Elizabeth Olsen all of a sudden became the face of the fucking Godzilla franchise, everyone's like, Elizabeth Olsen is fucking incredible. They'd be like, let's have a fucking Scarlet Witch spin-off. Alright? It's like, it's just maddening that anything besides Marvel just gets shit on. Say Gal Gadot becomes the it girl, alright? After Wonder Woman, right? Maybe she goes on and she gets another franchise. There's some new Hunger Games franchise of some kind. And there's just a 20-something-year-old woman and she's involved. And she gets the fucking deal. All of a sudden, people get mad if there was a Wonder Woman focus. You know what I mean? It's just, it's maddening that, like, they just get angry that Fox hit on a fucking star. You know what I mean? She deserves her own spin-off, and she could fucking pull it off. Alright?
I shouldn't have even brought that point up. The reason why we were laughing so hard is because Christian was spiking out for the volumes for his voice.
The only question is, has Mystique ever had her own, like line of comics, like her own.
I do not believe so.
Yeah, like she's such a relevant character.
What a better time.
Let's write it, boys. And so,
hey, what's up, guys?
Have they ever had a comic line of hers? I don't think they have.
No.
To my mind, I don't believe they have, which surprises me because she's such a relevant character in the universe.
Yeah, I just like getting angry over it, but like in reality, I'd rather have a Brotherhood of Mutants spinoff in general with Magneto, Mystique, maybe a new Sabretooth. Sorry, Liev Schreiber, don't show up again. Thank you, goodbye. And the other big spinoff I would want, of course, besides Gambit, besides Mystique or the Brotherhood, is Deadpool.
Yes.
And I want it to be R-rated.
Yes.
And I know the same producer has talked about the same thing too. Ryan Reynolds would have been perfect, but they decided to destroy him for X-Men Origins Wolverine. Mm-hmm. And basically, with Days of Future Past coming out this week, they basically Bryan Singer has said. He said a lot of things. I don't know if we should believe all of them.
Isn't he in trouble?
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. But he said that basically X-Men Origins Wolverine and Last Stand are out of canon. So just don't even act like they happened.
I mean, they could set something up. I mean, it would be almost incredibly impossible, but they could set up by doing the timeline shift. Mm-hmm. Like they did in, kind of similar to Flashpoint, like how things changed due to the time shift in Days of Future Past. They could make it so those events didn't occur.
Well, Hugh Jackman...
it'd be so hard to,
Hugh Jackman is already... They're just saying it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And basically, he said recently that he was going to leave, and that's why we're talking about spin-offs and faces of the thing. But now he says he's reinvigorated because Days of Future Past kind of leaves them with a clean slate.
Right.
That's what he said, clean slate. I don't know what that means.
I guess
if everything's changed, kind of like you're talking about.
Yeah, because that's how they set up 52. So, I mean, maybe they're doing something similar to that, so that way they can do more stuff. And we were talking about spin-offs. It would never happen. It's impossible. But Colossus is my favorite X-Men, and if it happened, I would die. Because Colossus is a badass, and he doesn't get the respect he deserves. Dude, he turns into metal. It's awesome.
If Daniel Cudmore, who plays Colossus, becomes the it guy in Hollywood, like Jennifer's the it girl, maybe he can get a spinoff. I just get angry that people if Marvel was doing it and Marvel was talking about it, they'd be like, wow, this is a great fucking idea.
Right.
But because Fox is doing it, they're like, well, they're just trying to capitalize. No shit, that's what Marvel's trying to do too. You think they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy just because they love the characters? No, they think it's going to make fucking money.
And it will. And that's something we haven't even talked about.
Do you think they made the decision solely based that for the Avengers, for when they chose Loki as the villain? Do you think they solely chose it because Loki's such a fantastic character and he was the first ever villains? Or is it because after Thor came out, everyone's like, oh my god, Tom Hiddleston is the greatest thing to ever happen in human existence?
Actually, I really don't think the Tom Hiddleston boom happened until the Avengers. And also, I think it's bullshit now. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Avengers, but at least Thor 3.
I really like Tom Hiddleston too, but they're oversaturating the poor guy. Yeah. I just need to see him in another role, and then I'll be like, all right, okay, now I like this guy. But I've only seen him as Loki, and everyone on the internet, just because of that one Comic-Con speech. God, one guy does one thing one time, and all of a sudden the internet's just in love with him. And Jen has a fucking string of amazing things, and we fucking hate her. Let's just...
Moving on from Christian's love of Jennifer Lawrence. Next thing on the roster is the original Sin. The original Sin. It's the new storyline in the Marvel universe.
Don't get me started. I'll just get fucking angry.
So it's the new storyline in the Marvel universe. It's their new event. It's
Fuck Event Comics.
Fuck Event Comics. Event Comics usually don't work out too well based on what we've been able to see so far.
Jeff Johns.
Fuck Jeff Johns. So I read most of Trinity War. It wasn't that good.
It was terrible.
It wasn't that good. Forever Evil was good. I like that.
Forever Evil
was really fun. It was interesting.
No. All right. See,
did you read it?
No. Let me say a couple things.
Digress.
Original Sin. Looks like a lot of fun. It's a murder mystery. Someone killed the Watcher. We're going to find out all new secrets about everyone in the Marvel universe, such as that Spider-Man. Someone else was bit in his universe. And we're going to find out about her. Her name's Silk. We're going to find out about Thor and Loki's sister. All kinds of cool shit. But for Forever Evil, what Jeff Johns has done to Dick Grayson is unforgivable. Taking Dick and making him an agent of Spectre or some crap. In July, we're going to find out Dick Grayson is going to be... Because his identity has been revealed, so he's going to be in Grayson. I like to call it Agents of Dick.
Agents of Dick.
Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of Dick. It's just, Event Comics, they're always have billions of tie-ins, and they make you spend all your money, and usually nothing happens at the end.
Right.
Like in Infinity, Age of Ultron, Forever Evil. I really hope that something in this original sin actually sticks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it actually, the first issue was a real good read. I really hope that Wednesday's issue adds on. And I'm excited to learn about Silk and that kind of stuff. But I just had to get my thing out there about Grayson and Forever. And usually, I with the original sin, I'm going to stick to the main storyline. I'm not going to buy in all the tie-ins. Right. You know what I mean? The tie-ins are...
Like what happened with Forever Evil.
Yeah, when they're just like, buy this tie-in to find out about what Power Ring did when he met...
Arkham War was horrible.
Arkham War was
so
the biggest
bad.
Shit ever. It was the biggest disappointment of something that could have happened.
Right. It could have been so cool, but it just wasn't.
It was just a Bane's fandom fantasy. Like, Scarecrow resorted to making them all into Banes to fight Bane, and Bane just beat them, and it was just stupid.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. All right. So, kind of rounding up things here. How weird is this? The last thing on the list is our good buddy Zac Efron. They've kind of given him some interest in some Marvel character, and I wrote this article, so this is all me. I'm gonna let him have the benefit of the doubt on this one, because they said he might be interested in like Daredevil or Iron Fist.
Now, you see what you did there?
No, I did not
see what you did there? If this was a Fox movie, a DC movie, you wouldn't be giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. But because it's a Marvel product, and all of a sudden we just believe anything that Marvel Studios does is going to be fucking perfect. You're just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe Zac Efron will be good. But, if DC's is like, hey, he should be Green Lantern, everyone would have a fucking shit fit and fucking freak out. But the idea of him playing Matt Murdock just because Marvel think it's a good idea, which I'd like to mention that the only reason he's being considered is now that Marvel is owned by Disney.
Good point.
You know,
High School Musical.
I don't know how much you obviously Christian surfs the web from time to time on these topics.
He's a little testy on the Marvel thing.
But I've always noticed
Marvel movies too. I just get angry that they're perfect and they've never made a mistake like Iron Man 3 or Thor 2. Just shit like that. Come on.
What was I going to say?
No one's infallible.
I forgot what... Oh, right. So when you go on, like, Reddit and Twitter and, like, all these things where, like, anything is released, like, Zac Efron has interest in playing something, and, like, they say, like, Zac Efron would play, like, Green Lantern. Suddenly, everyone and their brother is like, Green Lantern's my favorite superhero. I can't believe they're doing this. They're like, anytime anyone's cast, suddenly everyone on the planet loves this character, and they're their favorite character on the planet. And I'm like, where did all these, like, Mystique fans come out of? Like, who's like Mystique's like favorite X-Men? She's the best. X-Men. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I know she's a brother.
No, like, oh my god, just like I agree with you on that. Oh, they're my favorite. I know everything about this person.
Yeah, suddenly,
I saw all 3 movies with Christian Bale. I know everything.
All these people come out of the woodwork, and you're like, where did you come from? Where were you when they were casting for them?
Right.
Nowhere to be found.
Green Lantern's my favorite hero.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What was his character in High School Musical?
Troy Bolton.
Troy Bolton's my favorite character of all time. Jesus Christ. This is tainting the Zac Efron name. Let's get Vanessa Ann Hudgens for Elektra. Corbin Blue as Luke Cage.
We'll have them all sing and dance.
And Ashley Tisdale as
Tigress. No, what's the name of the White Tiger? White Tiger. That's it.
All right. You know, like you were talking about, like people coming out of the woodwork at him for people are like, that's my favorite character. You know who that happened with? Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When everyone's like, hey, Aaron Taylor Johnson's perfect in Marvel, but fuck Evan Peters and fuck the Days of Futures Past. The reviews are out on a lot of the Days of Future Past.
They said Quicksilver's awesome.
They said the Quicksilver scenes are awesome. So maybe, in fact, he could be cool, even though he's not in a Marvel necessarily Marvel Studios film. Mm-hmm. That's what I get upset about.
Speaking of, all right, so Zac Efron, we're gonna kind of toss it up in the air. It's a toss-up.
Yeah, he's fine.
We'll see what happens.
I'm really not angry. I just like to point out that if the other thing, I didn't see the internet really blow up over that.
No, it didn't.
But I would have seen like a million articles on Yahoo.
People are just like,
I would have seen
the kid can do. Put him out there.
It's not until they cast him as something that people will be like,
Iron Fist is amazing. I can't believe they're tarnishing his name. They made Luke Cage white. Not Danny. No.
Yeah, it's just I agree with you guys because like all of a sudden where everyone came out of the woodworks when Ben Affleck was casted. Batman's my favorite superhero. This is such a disgrace.
He's no Christian Bale.
Oh god,
he doesn't have an eye wart.
I can't even start with the pink hat Batman.
This is the same people who don't even know who Kevin Conroy is.
That's true. Is that some guy who does art or something? No, but. Yeah, so it's a toss-up. Whatever. Throw the kid out there. See how he does.
Yeah, send him to the wolves.
There is one more thing before we kind of wrap it up here. I just wanted to talk about we're all excited for the new Star Wars film. Speaking of Disney movies.
Yeah. Absolutely. Last podcast, which I don't know if it will ever be put up by Ryan.
The Phantom Episode 13.
If you thought I went on a rant here, I went on quite a rant last time, and it was really intense. But Dan offhandedly said something bad about Andy Serkis, and I just went off on him about how awesome Andy Serkis was. And then later this week, we found out that he was cast in Star Wars, and that he was also helping Mark Ruffalo out with his CGI, the motion cap for the Hulk. So it was a big week for Andy Serkis after that whole thing. And the new trailer for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is out, and that was great.
So that's another trailer you guys we have everything on the site, so we got through a lot today. So you guys have any closing thoughts, Adam? Anything you want to add to anything we talked about today?
Well, the last thing about the Star Wars thing is that when I saw the full cast, it was a lot of unknowns. I was surprised how many unknowns there actually was. They've only been in a couple things. There was only a couple names that caught my eye. One of them was obviously Andy Serkis, and I'm kind of really excited to see how they use him. Because, we've had aliens that should not be named that didn't work out too well in the Star Wars universe, And so, hopefully, they make him something that's actually awesome, and I feel like he could do something so good.
Yeah.
I have faith in JJ, to be honest. I think he can do it. Star Trek was great, so I think if anybody can pull off Star Wars and not make it freaking prequel crap, then I have faith in JJ.
Christian, closing thoughts on anything?
I'm really hoping Star Wars continues the legacy of space slugs. I'm a huge fan of Jabba and the Hutts, and I'm a huge fan of the Hutts in general, and I would love to see more space slugs. Maybe perhaps Andy Serkis could be a space slug. I love the space slugs. Who doesn't love Jabba? Maybe some more bounty hunters.
Yeah, that'd be
maybe
sweet.
he could actually say something this time.
Yeah. And all right, so I think just for me, I'm just gonna really quick go back to Spider-Man. I want to see Jonah Jameson. Wow, I can't say his name. J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man 3.
Have you seen Ultimate Spider-Man, the TV show at all?
Yeah.
I kind of like it when he's on the big screens and he's on the TVs like a news anchor. I kind of like that more rather than just him in the office with a newspaper. Because newspapers are obviously dying, so it'd be great if he had more.
So you want to see him as a TV anchor,
like a digital thing.
You remember seeing in that shot in Amazing Spider-Man 2 when it says Daily Bugle Tumblr,
right?
Yeah. So that's perfect.
But
the
only thing that really just kind of worries me about it is that Mark Webb said he's such a tough character to bring into the light.
Because you had what's his name? J.K. Simmons was so good,
awesome.
He obviously set the bar because he's the only one that's ever done it, but he set the bar so high that it's going to be really hard to cast somebody as that character again.
But I would like them just take a shot at it.
Yeah,
I mean, they took a shot at all these other people. I mean, they took a shot at Rhino. Why not take a shot at him?
If I could toss a name out for J. Jonah Jameson, I know it's probably gonna sound cliche and stupid, but Stanley Tucci. No? Maybe? He's got the attitude for it. I mean, you know... Do you know who that is? Do you know his name?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I'll pretend to know who he is.
He's the one that played Caesar Flickerman in Hunger Games.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's all
I love his attitude. I feel like he'd be really good. I feel like
Stanley Tucci's a great character actor.
He's fantastic.
I'd also like to remind you, he was the scientist who created Captain America.
That's true. Wow.
Right. Well, there you go. He's already in the universe.
Yeah, boom.
He's in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, get him out
He was
of
a
there.
great find.
If they cast somebody else of the scientist that created Captain America, I'd been pissed. He's my favorite character.
And on that note, we'll see you guys another time. You guys, anything else you want to add?
I'll just get angry.
Thoughts?
Let's just stop.
Live long and prosper.
Space slugs for life.
All right, guys, and we'll see you next time.